trusted parent where your child could go if danger's near and you're not there to help.
Yo. What's up with y'all, man? All right, March Madness, man. The madness of March. March Madness. The madness of March, man. Let's just get right into it, man. So first, how I came up with this idea, I ain't gonna lie. I was going through TikTok, man, and I seen a little clip of Shaq. You know, Shaquille O'Neal, Hall of Famer, basketball. Like, you know who Shaq is, man. If you don't, get up under that rock you from, man. I seen him talk about, March Madness and everything like that, and he's big supportive of the women. And he said the men's was trash. Now, am I gonna hold on, let me turn this down. Am I gonna disagree with bro? Absolutely not. But right here, I got to. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. So, I feel like right now we living in a world where just because you like one thing, that means you automatically have to disassociate with the other. And I don't like that, and I don't feel like it's cool. Don't get me wrong, women's basketball is definitely at the forefront right now and definitely is bringing most of the attention to March Madness, but that doesn't take away from the men. The men are doing the same thing that they've been doing since the beginning, which is hooping. And the women are doing exactly what they've been doing from the beginning, which is hooping. Like, I don't get both sides, men and women, especially at the collegiate level, and for those who go further, like to the WNBA, the NBA, they work hard at a sport, just like any other college player does, just like any other person does in their respective sport. Like, they work hard at it. So I don't think it's trash, especially when we go to like the performance in the first round from Oakland. His name's Jack. I can't even pronounce his last name. I ain't even gonna try. I don't want to butcher it. But bro had 32 points off 10 threes. That's not normal. We go again to Duke. I think in their loss, Jared McCain, 32 points again. Insane. We go to NC State. DJ Burns Jr., 29 points. You know what I mean? He's in the Final Four right now. He's going up against Purdue. Will they win? I don't know. But will they lose? Ain't my place to say either. This is a single game elimination. Y'all know how March Madness go. It's a tournament bracket style, single game elimination. It's really up to anybody can win at this point, especially when we get down to crunch time like it is now. We go to Tennessee. Dalton, again, last name I can't pronounce. I don't want to butcher it. My fault, brother. 37 points. Purdue, Zach Edey, 40 points, 16 rebounds. I say it again, 40 points and 16 rebounds, right? Some people in the NBA ain't dropping them kind of numbers, ain't dropped that type of number their whole career. Now, of course, am I in the NBA? No, I'm not. But some players haven't. Obviously, it's two different levels, two way different styles to play about, or like the speed of the game is different at the professional level, of course. But you can't knock what these players is doing now, especially when, they our age. Like, well, I say our age, like, I don't know who really listening to this right now, what your age is, but I'm 24. Some of these players younger than me, 19, 20. Juju, 18? She just got the right to vote. Like, not too long ago, bruh. You about to turn 19 soon? Like, they're hooping, bruh. Like, and I really feel like we need to get back to what the essence of basketball, and just enjoying the sport and just enjoying sports in general, regardless of what gender is out there. You know what I mean? Whether you watching baseball or you watching the softball team, each team puts in work outside of what the actual game that nobody else sees. You'd never know the late nights that players have from not just the game, but practice, individual workouts that they might have, film sessions, meetings, and then being in college, having class, having homework, having this, having that, and still trying to, chase their major and chase their degree. That's not easy to do. And to perform at some of the levels that these brothers is hooping at, we can't knock that either. So, like I said, I disagree with the take on that. I feel like March Madness is prime time right now for both sides. With that being said, the women is out there hooping, man. Yo, shawty's is out there balling for real. Like, balling, bro. From Paige buckets Don't know her last name either, for real. Again, I apologize. So I'm gonna just say Buckets right here. Aaliyah Edwards, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you got Caitlin Clark. Of course, you had Juju, Mackenzie Forbes that was on that team. We're gonna talk about their performances right now. But I really want to start off with, just before we get into the actual basketball conversation, I want to talk about my experience in the sport to let y'all know that I'm not just speaking from a viewer perspective. I only got to varsity, but that's better than some of these other cats that be on these, ESPN and stuff like that, just talking out the side of their neck, not having no experience, just going on stats and all this other, I really wish I could say what I want to say, but, I won't be on the show next week if I did. So I'm going to just say, can I say da-da-da-da-da? No F word, no N word, no A word, no R word, no S word. So I'm going to just say BS. But, yeah, it's better than these other, you know what I mean? These 6'5", 300-pound, bag of marshmallows that be on ESPN talking crazy and everything like that. I feel like my opinion holds some validity, and we're going to get right into it, man. So first, I started playing basketball when I was a kid, joined a little league, a city league, probably like my 5th grade. I've been playing ever since, up until my senior year of high school. Put a lot of time and effort into the sport. Didn't work out, didn't get a college offer, didn't go professional like I wanted. Hey, that happens. Move on from it. You know what I mean? But I could hoop a little bit. Don't get it messed up. Like, you know what I mean? I could lace them up still and, put the ball on the floor, strap, you know what I mean? Shoot a little bit. That was me, Nothing too crazy. We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about March Madness. Am I in March Madness? Absolutely not. So let's get right into it, man. So I was at home watching, what game was that? So first, it was the Iowa versus LSU game, right? It was the Elite Eight. We got the Final Four coming Friday for the women. And then I think men play Saturday. I'm not too sure. But I'm watching the LSU versus Iowa game. And out the gate, Caitlin was wilding. She pick and roll, pick and pop, left wing. Give me that. Splash, right? 3 to start off the game, I think. 3-0, right? Iowa ends up going on a little run. This is for those of y'all that didn't watch the game or don't know anything that I'm talking about. I'm giving y'all the little backstory right now. Iowa goes on a little run, right? Start the game, cool. But LSU is like, we've been there before. They got Angel Reese, they got Flage out there, they got Haley out there. They got some hitters. So they're not panicking. That's how you know the signs of a good team. When they're down, they're not panicking. You still have a lot of game to play left. You got punched in the mouth a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. You're bleeding. You're leaning, right? But you shake back, right? So Angel Reese is like, man, I ain't going like that. Just straight up. Because she started wilding not out the gate, but got punched in the mouth. And she was like, yo, I ain't having it. She goes on like an 8-0, 10-0 run by herself. Steals, blocks, controlling the glass like she do. You know what I'm saying? And she just declared for the draft and everything like that. Shouts out to her. So, throughout the game, it was a great game, right? LSU gets back into it, right? They making their run. Caitlin's doing what she do. I think she finished the game with like 41, 12 assists, 6 rebounds. Insane. I will say she's putting up probably some of the best performances we see out of the men and women, or just in March Madness history, honestly. She going down as one of the GOATs. Hopefully she could do this in the WNBA, but shoot, she could probably do this in the NBA, keep it a buck with you. But needless to say, it was a great game coming down to the wire. What I feel like it came down to was, one, LSU made the switch to put Flage on Caitlin Clark too late. I feel like they should have put Flage on her from the beginning, especially the way that Flage just brought energy and life to the court. Getting blocks, getting timely buckets. I think she got a buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter or first half, something like that. Flage, to me, she was one of the most well-rounded players that game, right? Just controlling the pace of the game and everything like that. And just, it seemed like whenever they needed just a timely play in general, not just a bucket, but a steal, a block, you know what I mean, drawing a charge or something like that. Like, it seemed like she was always the one making that play. 2, yeah, can nobody guard Caitlyn, man. And I mean, like, brothers and sisters, she's pulling from like 26, 27 feet on average. Like, it seemed like as soon as she crosses half court, like, she's letting that thing fly, bro. Like, even if I was out there trying to guard that, like, bro, like, I don't, what do I do, bro? What do you want me to do, coach? Shawty pulling from the parking lot, fam. Like, I'm not guarding that, bro. But you got to. Especially when she's lighting it up like that. Like, I think she had like 9 threes or 10 threes. She ended up breaking like the total record for threes, like, in the tournament. You know what I mean? So she was out there going crazy. And it's just like, I feel like as a defender, you never want to, how do I say this, man? Like, as a defender, you want to dictate, or at least have the offensive player get to the second or third option, right? If an offensive player is scoring off the first option, like, you know, a dribble cross or dribble pull up and just get into their spot with ease, you might want to switch, bro. Or just lock in, fam, because you're not looking like you could guard them right now. You low-key getting embarrassed. And once that happens with certain players, you might as well just call it good night, because it's finna be a tough one for you. No lie. Right? And that's what I feel happened with Caitlyn. They let her get into a rhythm early, and it was just curtains from there, honestly. Draining back-to-back threes and everything like that, going on runs of herself, where it felt like LSU could, like, they had control of the game for a little bit, and then they just let it slip away, because Iowa's a great team too. They got Molly Davis on there, who was making plays for her and everything like that. There's some of their bigs, and just overall as a team, like, it just felt like they wanted it more than LSU, right? It's a lot of the shots that Caitlyn was taking where it's like, off the screen, she's dribbling with her left hand, so you know she's looking to pull up. And it just felt like nobody was there. Like, you know, Angel Reese is playing drop coverage, which is when, like, off the pick and rolls, you have the ball handler coming off the screen, and as a big who's playing for the drive, you're gonna drop back and give the ball handler that shot. But you can't give Caitlin Clark that shot. I feel like we all know that by now. Like, that's not really what you should be doing, right? Playing the drop coverage like that and just kind of letting her shoot, and it ended up getting out of hand. You know, Iowa ended up pulling away later on in the game and ended up winning the game, so shouts out to them. And just after the game, like, you really just see, like, the emotion from some of the players. Like, you know, everybody wants to win, and everybody, you know, is out there giving their best and trying and putting their best foot forward, but just sometimes the ball just doesn't fall your way. And sometimes you're going to end up on the losing side of things. And another thing that I want to talk about, too, as far as just LSU, like, at this same time last year, like, they were the sweethearts of all of America, right? Angel Reese, people was, I think Flage got a Wayne feature, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you know, everybody was rocking with him. You know, everybody was saying Angel Reese was the face of women's basketball and pushing basketball to another level. And then the media made her the villain, and it made it cool to, you know, hate her and, like, you know, treat her as the villain. And I'm not gonna lie, she took it and ran with it. But at that point, what else are you gonna do? When the media is painting you a certain way and people already have this certain image of you, you gonna take it and run with it. Or honestly, that's what I would do, and just make the most of it. Yeah, y'all treating me as the villain, so whatever, I'm gonna just live in that, right? I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Whenever I win, I'm gonna scream in your face, I'm gonna wave bye, I'm gonna point to my finger, let y'all know I got a ring. I'm gonna talk my stuff, just like how she's doing on the court. She gonna talk that. Talk your stuff, man. Oh my God. I really want to say that word, but I can't. But anyways, man, and it just shows, like, like, one of the greatest quotes ever is you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, right? And it just goes to show, like, the time that we're in now, how quick people can change on you, how quick people can just, you know, not really mess with you like how they was, like, prior. You know what I mean? Like I said, the same time last year, everybody loved Angel Reese. She was the face of women's basketball. She was the face of women's sports at the time, especially when they won the national championship. They was the most hyped up team in the league. Fast forward a year later, it's not the case. Now Caitlin Clark's the new wave, right? Well deserving, but we can't deny and forget about the history that Angel Reese is putting up and the numbers that she's putting up and the skills that she has either. You know what I mean? We could appreciate Caitlin Clark, everything she brings to the table and the success that she's having and live in the moment right here. But let's not discredit and forget what Angel Reese has done. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That, you know what I mean? And who am I? Who am I, man? I ain't nobody. I'm just a brother giving his opinion, man. That's all. Now, fast forward. Whew, I ain't gonna lie. Everybody was talking about, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, but from a hooper standpoint, oh man, USC versus UConn was what I was really waiting for. That Juju Watkins versus Paige Buckets matchup. What? And out the gate, they both was wilding. At least, I'm not gonna lie, I started watching the game, a little late. I went to the garage with the homies, partook in some, recreational activities. If you know, you know. If you understand what I'm saying, then hey. But we're just gonna move on from that topic. But after I came back in from the session, started watching the game, and I started just really just appreciating it, right? So, I'm gonna break it down for y'all like this. Overall, UConn has been dealing with injuries like all year, even last year. Paige is coming off I think she tore her ACL last year, ended up missing all of last year. That's why we haven't seen her. Comes back this year. They wasn't even supposed to be in this position, right? Like, they were the huge underdogs because of everything that they was dealing with. So them even being to the Elite Eight and now the Final Four. Sorry to spoil it. I know I was going to talk about the game, but you should have watched it. So yeah, out the gate, or I'm not gonna lie, it took Juju a little minute to find her rhythm, right? Like, it kind of seemed like they wasn't getting her the ball, and it kind of seemed like when she did get the ball, because she hasn't touched the ball in a while, like, she was kind of like forcing it, or maybe like just kind of rushing the shots that she was getting. It took her a minute to kind of find her rhythm, but when she did, oh my God, she hit Paige with a tween step back top of the key. Buckets. I said, oh Lord, oh my God. And she home too. She USC and she from LA. What? Man, you knew she was gonna come out there and get buckets eventually, even if she started off slow. It ain't how you start, it's how you finish. Paige, man, Paige got everything in her bag. Every move that a guard could have, especially like not just a good guard, a great guard, an elite guard. She got that, man. Post fade, pick and roll. She know what to do off of it. She knows every single option that she got. 3-point shot, mid-range shot, finishing around the basket, dribbling and getting to the basket. You know what I mean? Like, it just seemed like everything that she wanted, she was getting. And she was impacting the game in other ways too, like assists, rebounding the ball. But really the boards was up to Aaliyah Edwards. And I feel like she's just, for UConn in general, the X factor of that team. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Besides South Carolina, I don't really see any other big as that's left in the women's tournament. Real, if she's going and controlling the boards and finishing around the basket and getting those second chance opportunities that she was getting, it's gonna be a long day for any other team that they play. I promise you, right? But so fast forward later on into the game, Juju cooking. They ended up her and Mackenzie Forbes. Mackenzie Forbes is from Folsom, by the way, or I think she is, or at least went to high school or probably went to high school somewhere in Oakland or something like that. I was reading her bio and it said Folsom, California, so that was cool to find out too. But Juju and Mackenzie was cooking, bro. I think they both finished with over 20. There was a point late in the game where UConn was kind of pulling away, and Juju wasn't really getting the ball like that. Wasn't really like kind of in a rhythm. And Mackenzie, she gets a steal. I think she gets a layup. Knocks down a transition 3 after that. They ended up tying the game. So now, fourth quarter, tie ball game. It's 0-0 at that point. It's anybody's ball game. Both team has a chance. And it really comes down to these last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter, right? So both teams trading punches. One get a bucket, the other get a bucket. One get a bucket, the other get a bucket. Juju gets a layup. Next thing you know, Paige comes off the screen, in and out, right hand layup, money, and one, right? She's talking her stuff. I'm like, oh my God. I'm sitting in my bedroom like, I can't believe this is happening right now, right? And it's like, bro, I think I seen a tweet, It said Angel Reese cussing out the players, players talking trash to other players. This is the basketball I fell in love with, and it's like, man, I felt that, bro, because it's like you don't really see that in the NBA now. Like NBA is kind of soft, but rest don't really be letting them play, and the rest be thinking it's, you know, the fans and all the viewers is there to see them. Like, bro, I did not want to see this. What's up, everybody? I did not want to see this. I forgot what I was about to say, man. No, okay, there it is. I did not come to see this black and white stripe wearing, Reebok wearing, slack wearing, you know, bald spot in the middle of his head having, ref running up and down the court. I did not sign up to see that, bro. I wanted to see the players. I wanted to see buckets. I want to see actual basketball being played. You know what I mean? So that's that. But yeah, they trading buckets, going back and forth. Mackenzie does her thing, and then Juju starts cooking. Mid-range shot, three-pointer, gets a steal, Euro, like she dropped that in and out, Euro. Oh my God, with the right hand finish. Oh my God, man. I was in my room going, man, me and my homies was in the room, man, watching the game, man. Couldn't believe it. Just appreciating the buckets. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Again, I feel like this is a situation where Aaliyah Edwards was just that X factor for me personally. Controlling the paint, post game like a mug, man. She had a move where she spun baseline, pump fake, reverse pivot with the finish on the other side, reverse layup. It was just nothing really that USC could do. And I'm not gonna lie, just USC's shot wasn't falling, right? You look at the stat line for a lot of the players, you're going to see a lot of 1 for 5, 1 for 3, you know, 1 for 2 type of, you know what I mean? And when you get to this level, like, you need those supporting players. You need a supporting cast to really dominate and really win at this level. You know what I mean? It can't just be Juju. As good as Juju is, as elite as she is, man, it can't just be her. You need everybody. And like I said earlier, the shots just wasn't falling for him. UConn advances, and at the end of the game, man, what really hit was at the end of the game when they showing Juju, you know, she trying to wipe away the tears and everything like that. They show her walking to the locker room, she's bawling, she's crying, right? And it's just, you start to see the human side of the players. You start to see how bad they really want to win. Especially her being a freshman and all the success that she's already had, the records that she's breaking already. You know what I mean? Like, what better way to cap that off than to win the national championship, right? You from LA, you go to USC, you at home, bring it home to SoCal, man. Bring that national championship home to SoCal. But, you know, she was saying in her interview how she can't wait to get back into the gym. This is going to be a learning lesson for her. You know what I mean? And with all the success that she's having, I'm sure it's going to be plenty more buckets, you know, in the future. And she's just only going to get better from here. So the sky is honestly the limit for her. Now, as far as the Final Four coming up, Friday and Saturday, for the men, we got NC State versus Purdue. And then we got Alabama versus UConn. Now, for NC State, their men's and women's team advance. So, honestly, as far as, like, if you room for, like, history and, like, want to see, like, you know what I mean, like, history in the making, you might want to root for NC State. I ain't gonna lie. They got some great players over there. They play some great basketball over there. Do I think that they gonna win? They got a good chance, man. They do. They really do, man. Their big man, DJ Burns Jr., man, he like the modern day Zach Randolph almost. If y'all know who Zach Randolph was, he was a big man in the NBA, right? Couldn't jump over the line, couldn't really jump that high off the ground. I'm gonna be honest with you, but bro is a big dude, no gap and pause if needed, right? But yeah, that was crazy. Bro's a big dude. What am I talking about, bro? But bro controlled the paint. Bro gets boards. Got post game. Could put the ball on the floor. Mid-range shot. You know, he really just has it all, man. So he's going up against, or the men going up against Purdue. That's tough. That is tough. But that should be a good game. Alabama, UConn. I was at work when I was watching the Alabama. I think they played North Carolina, and North Carolina has a high-powered offense, no lie, and they shut their star player down right in that second half. Games like that where you have just two high-powered offense teams, it really just comes down to one, who's going to control the boards, and two, who can get the most stops, especially in crunch time at the end of the game. That's really what it's going to boil down to. Right? Who's really going to take that challenge, lock in on defense, and really just prevent people from, getting comfortable, getting to their spots on the floor, really just disrupting their offense the most, honestly. NC State versus Purdue. My prediction, I'm going to go Purdue. I'm going to go with them. And for Alabama and UConn probably gonna win. Actually, I'm gonna go with Bama. Not for any particular reason. My dad from Bama, so I'm gonna rock with the home team by way of my dad. Women's Final Four. This should be a good one. We got NC State versus South Carolina, and as y'all know, South Carolina is really not to be messed with right now, right? Let me do some research right here. No, bro, I'm trying to look up don't nobody. Dawn Staley. How could I forget her name? Oh my God, Dawn Staley. For those of y'all that don't know Dawn Staley, Dawn did a masterful job guiding a young South Carolina team back to the Final Four with an undefeated season for the second straight season. Staley was honored Thursday as the Associated Press Women's College Basketball Coach of the Year for the second time. Right? That's tough. Back to the Final Four with an undefeated for the second straight season. Undefeated record for the second straight season. Let me say that again. Undefeated record for the second straight season. They the team to beat right now. And NC State got some talent, but I just don't see them. I don't see them winning, especially with the lineup that they have right here. Let me read off this lineup for y'all, man. Especially, I think they got a center, shawty like 6'5", 6'4". That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. Hold on, y'all. Let me get right. Let me make sure all this information. Yeah, Camila Gardoza. Tall girl, red hair, right? Got a smile, but between the lines, she a dog. And I ain't talking about no poodle. Oh, excuse me. Shawty's 6'7". So, I think she might be the tallest player in the tournament. Yeah. She taller than D-Book, I think. She taller than Steph Curry. She dang near seeing eye to eye with LeBron. That's just to put it in perspective. Because also, too, there was a dude, I think Angel Reese's or Flage's brother or something like that. Players get into a scuffle. It happens every now and then, like get into a fight, things get heated and everything like that. So the brother jumped over the scoreboard to try and help out his sister. Bro jumped over that scoreboard and shrunk. Right? Which, again, just before we get out of here, forewarning to any regular pedestrian that goes to these professional games and goes to these college games and sees athletes, I promise you, when you step on that court, TV don't do it justice, brother. Right? It don't. These are freaks of nature. Nobody out there is under 6 foot, I think, or probably just right at 6 foot. And that's the women. For the men, you're going to have some 7 foot trees out there. Right? Some skyscrapers out there that you are going to go out there and you are immediately going to realize, I shouldn't have done this. Come on, brother. Right? So, as a fan, as a pedestrian, as a viewer, know your role, know your place. Enjoy the game from your seat. Let the players scuffle. Right? Stay out of it, please, before you get yourself hurt. Dang. like I was saying, you know, Camila Cardoza, then you got Chloe Kiss, then you got Ashlyn Watkins, Bree Hall, Raven Johnson, you know what I mean, and other great players that's on the team. Like, you just got dogs on the team. And as far as for the women, for my prediction, I think this is South Carolina's national championship to lose. On the other side, you got UConn versus Iowa. Obviously, you got Paige. Obviously, you got Caitlin Clark. Iowa's the other favorite, to be honest. You can never count her out. Like, betting on her is like betting against Steph Curry or like Tom Brady, honestly. You know what I mean? Because she can honestly turn up, drop another 40 piece, and this could all be said and done, and I could be just, you know, the dumbest person on the planet saying all this. But, you know, yeah. Before we get out of here, just message for the day. Let's keep enjoying these sports, man. You know, let's enjoy it. We got playoffs coming for basketball. That's always good to watch. You know what I mean? I want us all to remember that, you know, these are humans out there that are just trying to enjoy the sport that they chose, trying to enjoy the passion and everything like that. You know, from basketball to softball to baseball, football, soccer, water polo, boxing, golf, whatever it is. Like, let's just respect these players, not just as athletes, but as human beings as well, right? Because it takes a lot of courage to go out there in front of 100,000 millions watching at home that's critiquing every move that you make, that, especially when you're a great player like some of these players and everything like that, like, people having these high standards for you, and if you fall 1 centimeter short of that, then there's just so much pressure on people to fail, right? We gotta remember, bro, they 19 out there. Some of them is 19, 18, bro. let these players hoop. Let the players swing the bat and see what happens, right? Because if it was that easy, you would be out there doing it, or I wouldn't be talking behind the mic, and I'd be out there doing it. But it's not. So always remember that, man. And always remember, if you're going through something right now, keep your head up, gangster. You know what I mean? It'll get better soon. You're not alone. You're not the only person going through something. You know what I mean? Not to invalidate what you're going through, but just to let you know, like, you just got to keep putting that one foot in front of the other and just grind, man. Hustle. Get better every single day, man. Some stuff gonna happen. Life gonna happen. You know what I mean? Everybody just has their turn. But in every storm, there's a sunshine at the end, man. You know what I mean? So I'm going to keep playing this music. I'm recording off my phone right now, so if you're watching on the phone, peace.